Hello, everyone. It's Cassandra Williamson from way down in LA. If you don't know what that means, that does mean Lower Alabama. So glad you're with us today. Thank you so much. It's another show on the books. Here it is. What is today's date? November the 7th of 2023. And it's Tuesday. Phew. So I just want to make it very clear. Again, as I said, my name is Cassandra Williamson. I am the Executive Director for Transgender and Diverse Veterans of America. And principally, this is from our action group. And a lot of the stuff that I talk about here come primarily from there. We do have some conversations that take place with what we're doing over on the helping, serving, charity side of the C3 organization, that side of over there where the C3 is at. And if you're not familiar with the organizational structure, I'll kind of show this to you here really quickly. Let me go pull up a page and I'll just show you in just a second. I'll put it in the background. I should have done this a little bit ago. Should have, didn't, but should have. Anyway, we're here and we'll just look at it in just one second. I want to show you this just so you know what we're talking about. So, and there's been some changes and stuff in here. We'll have to make some adjustments and things like that coming along. Absolutely. So let me go in and come back to where you are because I can't see you. There we are. Okay, so as I said, we're spending most of our time talking on this show from the action group side, which has to do with the advocacy and the activism side of policy, legislation, and stuff like that. All the fun stuff out there that actually make this thing really entertaining as well as frightening sometimes. It just depends on the stuff we're learning, right? I do need to make it very clear, though, that the opinions expressed here are solely mine and mine alone. They do not belong to, are not part of, and do not represent any particular organization, agency, department, or whatever. It's just me talking to you and letting you know what I'm thinking. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff you may agree with. There's a lot of stuff you will likely disagree with. Come on in and let's chat. Let me put down the link down here in the bottom where you actually over there where you can copy and join in on this conversation if you would like. Let me go up to the comment section here, put this over there into that one, paste and enter. Okay, so right now we are live over on 2 accounts on Facebook. We got LinkedIn, we got YouTube, 2 accounts on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and of course over on the Action Group website, which is let me go back to the banners and put this up there. That's the web. Well, that's not the website. That happens to be my email address. Go right there. You can go to the website, check it out. We're all over there on that stuff. You can find out everything that we're doing and keep up to date. We'll kind of go through a lot of news stuff. We'll talk a little bit about it. Actually, it's just me talking to the camera at this point. But if you want to join, just click on that link over there, put it in the comment section. As you can sure come and join me if you wish, as long as we have some respect for each other. The words you use aren't anti-Semitic or anti-Zionist. And so I'm going to be really, really firm about that. I mean, you can have differing opinions and we can talk about them in an intelligent way, but start calling people names or start thinking of racism and hatred of any kind toward any group of people, and then I will sure as hell shut you off. It's just that plain, folks. I don't tolerate that. I am intolerant of hatred. I am intolerant of hatred, bigotry, and bias. If you want to talk about them, good, fine. Let's find a common thing to talk about, okay? And one thing I do want to make clear, a lot of the stuff that I talk about is all, talking about things that are happening here in the U.S. There's some stuff that happens around the world. I'll talk about particularly what's going on in Ukraine or the potential for a conflict over in the South China Sea or with North Korea or let's say Hamas and Israel or maybe Iran. Who knows? There's all kinds of hot spots in the world today that, we can spend a lot of time talking about those things. But if I'm talking about things here in the United States and there's people I disagree with, they're still Americans. I don't want to ever hear any of our people going around saying, that's un-American or that's not American or you're not American enough. Or, no, they are Americans. They just have a different perspective. We might not like it, but that's fine. That's fine. We do live in it's a combative kind of democratic republic. And that's always been the case. We go back and forth and back and forth and struggle over ideas and concepts. But that's the whole beauty of this kind of thing, as long as there's some civility maintained. And that's the one thing that's missing, is that level of civility. And I wrote about it. There's an article I put out there. I think it was out yesterday on civility. Go check it out. It's on the website that's right there. You can go to the blogs, go over to the blog post and just, click on that. Go follow that thing over. Go read some of those blogs. I talk about anti-Semitism, its history. And people are up in arms about all this stuff happening with students on campus protesting, standing out there in support of Palestine or in support of Hamas and all this kind of stuff. I've got some really good thoughts about all that too. They're mine. You might not like what I have to say, but that's fine. That's fine. More the merrier, right? Right? All right, so come and join me if you'd like. Just click on that link if you're watching over on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. I'm not quite sure what this other thing is, but anyway, it looks like StreamYard on something. Anyway, so we're there. We're having a good time today. We're talking about all kinds of crap. So here we go. What are we going to talk about first? All right. Let's just jump into, I'm going a little bit backwards from what I did earlier today. Today at noon, I actually went through the news headlines first, but today I want to jump into something that just caught my attention over on Twitter, X, that one. I refuse to buy one of those check marks. As an organization, we have to pay $1,000 just to be validated and confirmed on Elon Musk's Twitter. No, you don't need another $1,000. All right, Kevin Roberts. I probably ought to just share the screen. That might help a whole lot. So you know what I'm reading from and what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah. All right, so I go get into my Twitter account just right before the show because I want to bring up a few things in here and talk about some topics. Okay. Kevin Roberts, president of Heritage Foundation and of Heritage Action. That's Heritage Foundation is. Well, they didn't put the link in there for it, but it is also over here somewhere. But anyway, so this is what he says, and you can read this thing your darn self. Coach Tuberville remains steadfast in his promise to protect life. So Senate Democrats are attempting to rewrite the rules to get around his effective efforts. Anyway, it's not just the Democrats. There are some Republicans in the Senate who are pissed at Senator Tuberville too. There, Mr. Roberts, Dr. Roberts, prefer your title. But anyway. Yeah, this is called narrative and propaganda because you know what you did? You left out the fact that it's actually senators from the Democrat and Republican side of the House. But here's what he does. Here's what Kevin Roberts threatens them. This is a threat to any Republican that supports this thing about getting, allowing, well, I'll show you what it is. It's a resolution, a Senate resolution, 444 resolution provided for en bloc consideration of military nominations. It goes down through talking about it, what the process will be and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think this is coming up before November 14th anyway. But it was actually introduced on October 31st, like 7 days ago. And so, but here it is. There's that resolution. And so what Kevin Roberts is doing is going to threaten the Republicans with a key vote. All right, so let me go over here and read this thing. This is from the Heritage Action Group, and this is actually them talking about it. And they go down through here, and you read the full text. I'm going to scroll down to a minute somewhere down here. I thought I saw it a little bit ago. But anyway, so what they're basically doing is says Heritage Action oppose. Oh, here, Heritage Action. Let me just if I can increase the size of that just to make this easier to read. This is what Heritage Action. Now, see, they have their action group too, just like we do. They do. They know they got to talk about this from that side. Heritage Action opposes the standing order resolution providing for en bloc military nominations, Senate Resolution 444, and will include it as a key vote on our legislative scorecard. That's a threat. Yeah, you don't do what we want, we're going to stick you on there, and we'll consider you as somebody who did not vote correctly. And it will be held to account. That's a threat, folks. That is a threat. And maybe we ought to do that too. What do you think? If we can get some senators who actually support national security, and if you vote against national security in this interest, then that's a check mark too. We need a scorecard over here. If you're going to vote that way and your interests are not in line with national security, then guess what? We'll put you on a scorecard too. Somebody out there, anyone who wants to create a scorecard for me and start tracking that kind of stuff? I don't have the time to do it all myself. Come on, jump in here and help anytime you like. I mean, I've got plenty of ideas. Just can't get it all done in a 27 hours I work in a 24-hour day. But actually, I do sleep a little bit. But I still wake up tired. Tomorrow I'm supposed to get, I'm chasing a squirrel. Tomorrow I'm supposed to be getting a CPAP machine. I've been through all the stuff like that because I'm just waking up as tired as when I went to bed. Jeez. But you struggle through, right? You keep fighting through. Anyway, so I digress. Back over here. So yeah, Heritage Action, key votes. That's the scorecard they're talking about. No on a Senate standing order resolution providing for en bloc military nominations. My reply, here's what I sent back to them. And this was in response to Senator Tuberville, Kevin Roberts. I don't even know if Heritage Action actually showed up in that list. Probably did. But I said, Senator Tuberville, this is a national security issue. Stop politicizing it. My org is HQ'd or headquartered in Alabama. If we could initiate a recall vote, we would. Lift the hold now, Senator. If we can get that message out there, and I put the link to the action group side in there. If they want to go check it out, just go check it out. So anyway, I thought I would jump into that one first because this is a national security issue, Senator Tuberville. If you're listening or your staff are listening, if I've got anybody in Alabama down here listening who has any influence, and I know there are quite a few because you've been responding to my emails. So I know you're down here. I know you're here in this wild and wonderful, the beautiful state of Alabama, but yet you're supporting this position with Tuberville in contravention to what we actually need for national security. These are not times to actually have this going on, folks. I mean, if we were in the midst of a full all-out peace, we didn't have any kind of conflict going on around the world that we needed to be a part of or anything like that, if none of that was going on and there were no threats to us as a nation, well, maybe you could let this go on and on and on like this. But I'm going to tell you, it just creates headaches in the military because these people know far more than Senator Tupperware does. I might just stop calling him Tupperware because Tupperware bounces back, right? As you push the lid on, just pop. I need some kind of reference that just doesn't bounce back. It's one thing to coach a football team at the college level, Senator Tuberville. It's an entirely different thing to know what the heck you're doing in the military at the senior strategic levels. You don't know it. I don't care how long you're going to sit there in that Senate office, and I'm going to try to help make sure that it's only your whole span is nothing but 6 years total, and you're gone the next time around because this is asinine. Okay. All right. Stop sharing. Go back over to here. All right. So that was my quick run over to Twitter. Oh my gosh. Yes. Let me see if I have something over on the other page I wanted to share too before I jump off to something else. No, nothing there. So we're going to go straight into showing you what our organizational structure looks like. And you can find this too, and I'll put the link for it over here in just a second. I'll share it. And hey there, Junia. So glad you're here. Camera? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So let me share the page. I'm trying to figure out where my controls are here. Present and share and Senate resolution, all of that. No, we're going to go to window, we're going there, and share. All right, and what I'm going to do is copy this link and copy that, and I'm going to put it over here, and I'm going to stop sharing in just a minute. I'll be right there with you. Be right there with you. Give me 1 second. You can find the link to that map. That's an interactive kind of map. You'll see how fun it is. I like playing with stuff like that. I mean, I guess I'm just a big old nerd, huh? Fine with me. Anyway, right now over there in the comment section, you've got the link to that map. And let me go share again, and we'll go look at it directly, okay? Let's go look at it and see what's going on. I just wanted to show this to you. This is our organizational structure, and this stuff's all, you can move a lot of this stuff around. I can anyway when I go into edit. And I do need to do that, though. I need to make some changes in here. Where? No, actually, I don't at this point. But so this is what we've got as an organizational structure. We need some people to actually step up and do some things that just, that, between me and Sarah Colasanto and people over on her team, and obviously the amazing Lashika Shine and Danny and Brian and Rachel Reed over here, Ash Taylor, and different ones, and along with our state directors. We did lose a state director this past week. We did lose one of our state directors this past week. They decided that all of the talk on the politics side was a little bit too much. I understand that. It can be quite challenging, and it absolutely can. So some people were driven out. So we did lose our state director in Virginia, and I want to just give a big shout out to an amazing individual there, and Steve Michaels. Whatever they decide to do, they will succeed at it wildly because they have the passion and intensity and the desire to make things happen. They're good. If you happen to know something, you got something you want to talk with them about, reach out to me and I'll make sure you get connected, because Steve definitely is an amazing individual. And then, but that was over here. That's all on the action group side, the state directors that we have out so far. And we've got a bunch of good people over there right now from, Georgia with Ray Gibson. We've got Lee Holder from Indiana. We've got, I can't even think of all the names. There's quite a few names now. We got somebody down in the South Texas area. You got somebody in Utah. We've got, I think that, Nebraska. We got somebody up in Nebraska, as well as, I think that probably is it right there. But anyway, and we're set up to be able to do things. We need people just to step in and take some initiative and do some things with us. Help us out. The good people over here on the action board, on the TDVA side, not the TDVA action board side, but TDVA side. An amazing group of people right there. We're getting ready. I just had an email that came in from Sarah getting ready to send out. It takes a lot. Let me just put it this way. It takes a long time to get things right. And Sarah is very methodical and very determined to make sure it's as right as much as she possibly can. So the bylaws, I've been told in an email today, should be ready soon to be sent out for a vote from the members. And if anybody's watching who wants to help organize that kind of voting system, please do. I can do it. Yes, I can learn anything. I'm fully capable of learning everything, but I don't need to. We've got people who can do it, So let's see what you got. So anyway, that's coming up. And also over on the action board, on the TDVA side, we also have the, what am I thinking? Uber. We got a program with Uber called Go Transport that we are developing out, that Sarah is taking the reins and running with it. We are looking for somebody to be a program manager at that level. It's a volunteer position. Everyone in here is a volunteer. No one gets paid for the work they do for our organizations. This is a separate corporation. This is a separate corporation here. This TDVA side is incorporated in New York. This side over here where I live is incorporated down in Alabama. But they're connected through our amazing leadership team, the executive leadership team that's right around through here. Okay. And we need to hear more of this. And we do have a meeting coming up here on the 3rd Wednesday of this month. Everyone, make sure you're ready for that. I'll send out notices about that. That's coming up. And I do notice one thing I've got to change. I know that Kirsten Lahal Walsh is no longer over there. So let me go do a sign in really quickly and see if I can sign in while you're here. I don't know if I can or not. Hopefully that's still active. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to show you how this stuff works. It's really cool. Here we go, folks. Here we go. So I got to go over here and take care of this one. That one right there, I'm moving around. Can you see it over on the left side of your screen? Da-da-da-da-da. And this stuff can just, right now I have them frozen in position, but they actually go all over the darn place. I can move them. But I need to remove this one. I need to delete that and edit and delete. Here we go. Delete. And this is kumu.io, Kumu, Kumu.io. I've been using it for going on 10 years now. I've got some really interesting stuff out here. Oh my gosh, do I ever. So I'll show you one here really quickly. Hopefully I'm still sharing the screen. I'm going to show you this one because it is just so freaking funny. I mean, it's amazing, really, this global connectivity thing here. This one takes a minute to load up. And let me go in here and shrink it down to size. You won't be able to figure out what that is. You're looking at something right now. It took me a long time, a long time to enter in all of these points. What does this represent? Well, let me blow it up a little bit and I'll show you. Drag it around and you can start seeing that you've got all these different organizations that are in the world, all the major ones, UNESCO, NATO, World Bank. It's got the data formation right there too. The Danube Conference in 1938. And I mean, it's got them all. The IAEA, the CAEU, and you can look on this and actually tells you what they are. You click on it. It should be able to point it out to you, I think, somewhere along the line, maybe. No, not doing that, not hiding anything. But anyway, so this is, oh no, I want to undo that. I don't want to hide that thing. But anyway, so I hid one. I don't know why. But this whole thing, these are all the modern countries in the world right now and when they were formed, okay? And what you're looking at is every nation on the planet. It's represented over here. If I pick one, it should rest on it and tell you what nation that is. Why is it not doing that? Let me pull this back just a little bit. Oh, Switzerland. Okay, so if I click on this little button right there, that's 1873, the World Meteorological Organization. That's when it was formed. You go back here to this one, and that's 1864, First Geneva Convention, and you go back to that one. And 1863, the International Committee of the Red Cross. And let's go right on back through here. You got one back here in the green block. Let's see, what's the green one? That's 1675, the Strasbourg Agreement. And you can see all of these things are tied together. And here's the period of time that the Hanseatic League existed from 1159 to 1862. I mean, this map actually is pretty darn freaking cool because it charts those things and how they're all connected. And I'm big into interconnectivity, and that's what this represents, folks. This is a massive project that charts how everything in the world is connected and how also it kind of tells you really quickly that you're not going to be able to do away with that interconnectivity, no matter how much you want to build a wall. You got all of this tying it all together. It's an effort that you can't undo those kind of connections around the planet. It's just not going to happen. No matter how much you want to pontificate about it, it's not going to happen. Anyway, I thought this map is fun. Let me see if there was another way to look at it. And 2014 review of 19. Let's see what that one does. Boom, 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 boom. If it comes up here, not sure that it will. That's it. Where are you? Okay, that one didn't come up. Let's go copy only. And that didn't work either. Okay. Anyway, so there's one that just shows it from the front. That is a cool one. That is a cool one by far. Really cool one. 2014. Let me try this one out here. And let's go through that. Did that do it? No, that didn't do it. Anyway, you can see what I'm doing here. I mean, this was Kumu. I created this a long freaking time ago, and it's just amazing to me. So I love this kind of stuff. I mean, it really shows you how things work in the world, and you can go over here and look at this and explore how everything's connected. Every darn thing is connected. You know, from the League of Nations all the way through the, United Nations and that. I mean, this is a fascinating document, program, actually, I guess you would say. But anyway, let's get out of that and go back over to stop sharing, and let's jump around a bit. Where are we? Go back down to here, down to there. Hi. Okay. All right. And told them to tell Tubbs that he's going to be voted out when his term's up. Yes. That is from Junia Childers down here in Alabama. She and I live in Alabama here. He called Tuberville's office and told them to tell Tubbs that he's going to be voted out when his term is up. Lots of veterans of Alabama that are all ready to vote him out when his term is up. I agree. I do agree with that one. And I've heard it from some retired flag officers and general officers who are here in the state who call Alabama home. I've heard it from them too. And these people have been really pissed, is the word I can actually use to describe it, about what's going on. I mean, Tuberville has no clue about national security, folks, just none. Ugh. None. Anyway. Okay, so let's go on over to check out the news. Let's go present. And we'll go over to present from the window. We're going to go to here, check out. So that's not it. Where's my news stream? That's not it. Window, home tab. Global connectivity, no. Is that one? No, that's not it. Share. That's not it. I'm working on something with that. That's a logo I've been working on, but that's not what I wanted to share, actually. So where's my other screen? Down here. It's here. Oh, Castor Semenya. That's what I'm looking for now. Give me a second to go back to this, and we're going to go to Castor Semenya. Share screen. It should be over here in this list. What? I don't see it. Downloads. No, that's not it. Chrome tab. No. StreamYard. Well, I don't see it in there. Anyway, cancel. Let me find out where it is because I got to pull it up so you can see this. This is really interesting, by the way. Put it in the background. Let's go back here and go back to this and now see if it shows up. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, now we got it. I had to bring it up behind this one. Okay, so some news items I came across just a little bit ago before we started the news show. And the first one was Castor Semenya. If you know who she is a world record holder. And geez, yeah. So she has been fighting with these national or global organizations to try to make sure that she can run. She's been doing it. She's won gold in a lot of times. Let me go see what we're talking about. And won Olympic gold in 2012 and 2016 before World Athletics ruled in 2018 that athletes with DSD, and let me go back up and just show you what that actually means, which is a difference in sex development. And this is what she says, and she's adamant about being born. You know, she doesn't have a uterus, she does not have internal testicles, or so does not make her less of a woman, and has accused sports leaders of turning women against women amid her ongoing fight with the governing bodies. Okay, she's been fighting this for a long time, and she's continuing the fight. So, difference in sex development. In other words, this would encompass, let me see what I'm looking for. This encompasses everything that has to do with intersex and all those identities that are tied up within the intersex category or group of people. And this is a difference in sex development. But what that does is it kind of makes her body have a little more testosterone than normal. And other people with this high levels of testosterone win. As we know, typically that's the case. Especially if you're at this level, professional level like this, and the world professional level. So anyway, she's continuing that fight. Let me see, there was something else she said in here. Oh yeah, the issue came into sharp focus in 2016 Olympics Games down in Rio de Janeiro, when Great Britain's Lindsay Sharp, who having just run a personal best time to finish 6th in the 800-meter final, was asked about Semenya and her fellow medalists, all of whom were DSD athletes, difference in sex development athletes. All the people who won, they had differences in sex development. They were still female, they're still genetically female. You go take a look at their genes, and that's what you're going to find. You're going to find that it says XX. These are XX females. They may have some other little tags on the end of that, XX or XXX or XXY or whatever, but they're XX females on the macro scale. But yet, That's what they said. It is out of our control, and we're pretty much relying on people at the top sorting it out, said Sharp, who, with today's regulations, would have finished on the podium. Semenya, who does not expect to compete in the Paris Olympics next year, said that she would dedicate herself to fight injustice, fight for inclusivity and diversity. All right, so I just thought that's an interesting article right there. So all the people who won down in Rio de Janeiro in 2016, they were all DSD, or difference in sex development females, genetic sex females. Why can't people see that that's just the way nature is, that we're not all exactly alike in every particular way? You can't build a category. I mean, what you're trying to do, here's what they're really trying to do, and I'm going to throw this out there. This just now occurred to me. So what you're doing is, remember, they're taking this cardboard cutout of what a woman should look like and what a woman should be like, and they're putting in there the characteristics of what they believe a woman should have, and they're saying this person right here, these are the people we call women. And you got the same thing happening with the genetic males over there running, whose gender is also male. All right, so you've got the cardboard cutout of what that person's supposed to look like. Does that remind you of anything? It does me. It does me. Reminds me of the 1930s. Back whenever you were talking about all the eugenics and stuff. You are saying that there's only a certain way to describe a woman. That's very Aryan of you. That's what I think. It just occurred to me. So I think I might stick with that one. I might want to write that down. I'll remember it, I hope. Anyway, so that's one news story. Let me see. Israel's president sends letter to U.S. universities. We're going to read it here. Let me see. Read out. President Herzog pens a letter to President of American universities. And basically he's telling them, I can tell you already, do something about the anti-Semitism on campus. It's fine to have conversations around these topics. And I know this, haven't read it, so I don't know, but I'm going to tell you what I think it would say. This is what I would say, is that it's fine to have these conversations around different ideas on campus. That's what campus is all about. But it's also imperative that we stop any kind of harassment of another person or a group of people simply because you don't like them. There need to be consequences for that. And that ranks right up there with racism and sexism and homophobia and transphobia and anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism and all this kind of stuff. All that hatred, my gosh, you'd be drowning in hatred. Anyway, so conservatives upset that university or diversity does not include white people. Yes, from the Independent News, Asir. And yeah, that's typically what it seems like to us. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what it seems like to us. Oh, yeah. So yep, I'm not even going to delve into that one. Okay. Results. How Ohioans voted on the issue of protecting abortion access. Well, this is kind of, this article has got the headline and all that out there, but the data hasn't come in yet because the voting in Ohio closes at 7:30 Eastern time. So it'd be 6:30 here, which is another, down here in lower LA, down here in lower Alabama, 6:30 here, and that's still like another hour away. But anyway, they're going to have the readout from it all down through here. You'll be able to find it. It's very curious to see what's going on with that one. Let me go up here and see the next article that I came up with. Schools that don't fight anti-Semitism, Islamophobia should lose funding, Education Secretary warns. And I agree with that one. If you don't fight it, then absolutely you shouldn't be funded. That's not to say, as I just said a minute ago, that is not to say we can't have those kind of conversations on campus around all those tough topics. We want there to be those conversations, but there needs to be consequences for taking it to the level of violence or supporting an organization that promotes violence or that is violent or that, well, you know, just a terrorist group like Hamas, Islamic Jihad. You know, there needs to be consequences for the actions, but have the conversations, have the tough talks, and march all you want. But oh my God, the moment it gets violent, the moment you've done something to harm another person because of who they are, then there needs to be consequences. And if the universities or the schools, regardless, whether it's high schools, university, or whatever, 2-year colleges or anywhere, if the anti-Semitism gets to the point of violence, then you've taken it too far and your funding needs to be cut off, at least threatened with it. I'm fully in agreement with that one. So let me just jump right on over to the next one. It's either America or Trump. GOP strategist calls on Democrats, Dems, to aggressively reject Republicans. And I haven't read this one yet. I just thought the title was interesting. As former New Jersey governor and 2024 presidential candidate Chris Christie continues to face backlash from Republican voters over a staunch criticism of ex-President Donald Trump, other GOP leaders, including Christie's opponents, continue to remain silent. During Monday's episode of MSNBC's The Read Out, guest host Jason Johnson pointed out that Christie is now the person who gets booed all the time. But he's taken that heat from a lot of other Republicans who are thinking, let me see if she scrolled away from me, thinking, maybe I'll be the brave one too. My question for you is anyone else, all the rest of these candidates are doing so poorly against Trump. Is someone else going to try to step in and add to the criticism that Christie has had for Trump? Look, we already know that all those people polling down there in the single digits, you aren't going anywhere on the Republican side. You're wasting your freaking money and all these people out there. However, nobody wants Trump in. Just nobody. Come on, nobody wants that. Now let's jump over here to the next thing and just see what we've got. These are a quick run through of the headlines. Let me get rid of the one behind there so I don't get back up to it. Romney ousts GOP senators who oppose bipartisan bill following Uvalde massacre. Okay. Yeah. Well, he should out them. Let me make it very clear. There are no absolute rights, period. None. Free speech, gun rights, none of them. There are no absolute rights. They all come with conditions and qualifications, okay? All right. Iran seeks single front against the U.S. and Israel from Syria-Iraq analysis. This is from the Jerusalem Post. Obviously, we know what the position is on that one, okay? Coming from the Jerusalem Post. And yet, that's just the way it is. I'm not going to worry about Jewish professor confronts students who said Israel supporters will burn in hell. Okay, fine. Go for it. Protests turn ugly as pressure mounts on Spain's acting government for amnesty talks with Catalans. Okay. Outside my purview for sure. Black men are expected to be not only providers, but emotional support systems too. All right, going full-blown Nazi, Trump's loyalist, planning martial law for first day back in Oval Office. That's just that's hyperbole, not even going to bother with that one. Echo zealous demand the U.S. military pay $106 billion to poor countries, shutter bases, and cut its forces. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Okay, so these lawmakers bucked their party on advancing the Tlaib censure resolution. Well, for one thing, you can censor if you wish, but the talk of expelling, no, that's a bridge too far. The only one that needs to be expelled is George Santos. Okay, we'll salute anyone. Okay, that's an ad. Not going to. What is the two-state solution for Israel and Palestinians? Okay, well, we know what that two-state solution is. Really, is that they have some autonomy each, right? It's a two-state solution. You can have that kind of autonomy, but they've got to get rid of a terrorist group called Hamas. First and foremost, you've got to do that first. If you're Palestinian and listening to this thing, rise up, get rid of Hamas. I know that you don't. You really are in a very desperate position because you're being used as cannon fodder and a human shield to protect all of those ideologically crazy Hamas people over there. But you've got to do it. You've got to get rid of Hamas and Islamic Jihad. You cannot have this, folks. You've got to get rid of those people. They're just, and you're not being oppressed by Israel. You're being oppressed by people like those in Hamas. Yeah, it's a paramilitary organization as well as a governing body, but I'm going to tell you, they still have one goal, and it's the destruction of Israel and the murder of all the Jewish people from babies on up. Doesn't matter. I don't know a baby yet that's in the military. Do you? So anyway, you've got to get rid of the terrorist groups in your state there. And then you'll start seeing things turn around. You'll start seeing things turn around for, prosperity and, thriving, and things will be better for that state. And Palestine, in the current situation where it's located right now, that's the old Philistine state. Okay. Centuries ago. Anyway, let's scroll on over. Most dangerous time the world has seen in decades. And this is Jamie Dimon gives investors, wait a minute here. Stern warning. That's money wise. I'm not going to go into that one. Nashville shooter manifesto released by Steven Crowder. Sparks boycott calls. I haven't seen it. I don't want to know what it is right yet. I need to be able to get myself wrapped around reading that one. Okay. That's really, that'd be a tough one. Canadian High Commission suspends operations over embassy explosion. Issues travel alert. What was it's in Nigeria. Okay. Yeah. I got some kind of comment over there. I don't really care at this point. So let me just get rid of that. Let's go back to finishing up the headlines, folks. We're almost at the end of that one. Olympic sprinter Gabby Thomas is a triple threat. Brilliant, beautiful, and wicked fast. Okay, so what does that have to do with being a sprinter, folks? Fine, that's good. That's perfectly great. I'm glad she's brilliant and beautiful and wicked fast. Absolutely. All right, that's the end of the line for that thing. It's just the facts. The dangers of House Speaker Johnson's anti-science views. If you don't know that Mike Johnson has anti-science views, all right, I've got a perfect picture for that. It's called, sticking your head down in the sand. Get your head out of the sand, folks. This guy is an evangelical Christian. They don't believe in science. As long as it denies what they want it to say, then they don't believe in it. Like a lot of it, except they'll go ahead and use the cell phones and things. Okay. All right. Let me go on down. Let's see if there's anything else down through here. No. Private university bans students for justice in Palestine. All right. Bans students for justice in Palestine. If this organization called Students for Justice in Palestine, they've been around a long time on campuses for a long time now, long time. If they're the ones who are the ones calling up your Jewish students on campus and actually threatening them with violence, then by all means. But if you don't have proof of that, then you have the right to ban them, obviously. However, I'm going to tell you that that's not a justification for it. You can have those kind of views. You can be pro-Palestine, just not pro-Hamas. But as long as you're not violent, and as long as you're not threatening other people's lives, there's no reason for you to turn away opposing views, even if they are things you don't like. Oh, wait. Christian photographer wins right to discriminate against LGBT couples. Okay, let me just go see what that one says. 12 hours ago, this is LGBTQ Nation, story by them, photographer represented by the anti-LGBTQ plus hate group Alliance Defending Freedom, and that they are, folks, has won the right to discriminate against LGBT couples. Bob Updegrove, a Christian photographer, sued the state of Virginia after it passed in 2020, passed the 2020 law allowing sexual orientation, gender identity adding to its non-discrimination laws. So now, now, you put these laws out there and you get a carve out that passes later on down the road. Somebody says, well, it goes against my religion. Get rid of your fucking religion. It's the problem. Believe it if you want, but oh my God. If it tells you to hate on somebody else or not, I know you don't think you hate on them, but I'm going to tell you, actions speak louder than friggin' words, folks. You can say all the words you want. If you go, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, and then everything that you do, the actions you take, show otherwise, well, then guess what? Okay? It's that simple. All right, let me go on down. Protesters chant from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And yeah, that is definitely a rallying cry to destroy. It's anti-Zionism is what that amounts to, as well as anti-Semitism. That is definitely anti-Zionism because you want Israel removed and all the Jewish people killed. Okay. Okay. I'm not going into there. Rachel Maddow points to poll numbers being ignored amid Biden 2024 freakout. Yeah, U.S. Russia on the brink of WW3. That's Daily Express U.S. British paper. As NATO rips up Cold War treaty preventing. Yeah, it wasn't NATO that did it. Why the heck would you just start out with that? It's Russia that decided to pull out of it first, and then obviously what's left. The only people left are the nations in NATO. But it was designed to kind of, make it less likely we'd have war with Russia. But Russia's the one who pulled out first. Anyway, we'll show you can bring Marxism and feminism together. Oh my God, you've got to be freaking kidding me. All right. I know where the origins of all this stuff comes from, and it comes from social justice, and it comes from that kind of pursuit of equality and equity. Okay. And yeah, that's a lot of stuff that came over here from the Marxism side, but it's a variant to Marxism and not the total picture of it. But anyway, I mean, her works are pretty good. I've read some of those works. I've read some of Judith Butler's stuff. I've read some of Kimberly Crenshaw's stuff too. And I mean, it's all valid, good stuff to read. Whether you agree with it or not, you still need to be reading it so that you at least be able to know what you're talking about when you try to confront someone who's talking about topics like that. Okay. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get out of the stop sharing screen on this side. Oh my God, it's hard to believe I talked for 45 freaking minutes. Over a year. And let me see. Netanyahu, let me go back here to this one. Let's see what this one says. And Netanyahu and his Republican Guard should be removed from the government equation. Also, the people of Israel and Palestine should pick from their own peoples to find less cruel leaders. Agreed. No problem with that. No problem with that. So, yeah, let me see. What else can we talk about, folks? Anyone want to come on over and say something? Say hi. Bye. We've got 12 minutes before we shut this down. Actually, we shut it down before then. But, let me see. What else was I wanting to talk about today that I didn't bring up right off the bat? Because I talk about so much all the time that, I take a long break in between shows. You would be surprised at how much energy it takes to get up and do this twice a day during the weekdays. It takes a lot to be able to pull that off, folks. It really does. It gives you a new appreciation for those people sitting behind the cameras there in the major network studios. This is a live show. A lot of the people who are producing these kind of narratives and stories, the 30-minute little things that have to do with, say, Project 2025, stuff like that. I mean, those are heavily edited to make it come to that and to fit within that period of time and to get their message across with all kinds of energy and all kinds of power to make it happen. And they look clean and slick when they do it, and mine doesn't. Because this is live. I could go back through and edit. I've got, I don't know how many videos saved now. I've started putting them on flash drives because there's so many of them. But anyway, we've got a lot. But if you go back and edit some of those things, I could actually do some pre-recorded shows. But I don't think that would go over all that well. People like to actually interact, and see people live. I will say this, if you're watching our show anytime outside of either noon Eastern, from noon to 1 Eastern, or outside of the hours from 6 to 7 Eastern, you're watching a recording. Just know that. If you watch it weekdays, if you're watching it on the weekend, guess what? You are watching a recording. And, that's just the way it is. I get it. I understand that. So you got somebody watching from over on YouTube and somebody from Twitch. Glad you're there. And I know there's probably others. I don't know about the Facebook. About the website. People watching from the website. I don't know how it counts that because I don't have that up here on the top. It's just an embed code over on the website. I am working on a couple of these, something I mentioned earlier today. And as a matter of fact, I need to go pull that up and let you look at it. Give me 1 second here. So we're going to go take a look at some of these other things that I've been working on where I need some input. Okay, I need some input on some of these things. And just give me 1 second. I'm going to look up this catalog I have here, a collection. And we're going to take a look at some of these things. All right. So this is where I need your help. If you're still with us, if you're still listening in, I need your help on this. And let me pull up the other screen so that I can go back and share. So give me 1 second, and we'll put up my email address banner. We're going to put that one up there. So keep that email address handy, because I want you to go through and look at some of these, and I'll share the code with you as well so that you can go visit the site. So let me get that right now too before we go do anything else. I want to share. Got that. Share the link. Copy this, and then we're going to go back over to here, put it over into chat, and I'll tell you in a second what this link is for. Okay, let me put it down here and paste and hit. Okay, so right now you've got a link over there showing up in your chat box, in your comments box over on LinkedIn. No, I don't know if it's on LinkedIn or not, but anyway, YouTube and Twitch, Facebook, hopefully on the website too. But anyway, it's there. You can see, you can click on that link, and here's what I want to do. I'm going to share a screen now, and I want to go share a screen over on another window, and here and here. So I bought and paid for this thing that kind of helps you build different types of intros, outros, videos. You can actually edit them and all kinds of stuff like that. So I've got this thing, and I put it into my computer and all that, but I looked at like 200 probably different options for intros. And so what I'm going to do is kind of put right here and just rest on each one of these. And it should play it live. Let me get the speaker turned on here where you can hear it. And we're going to look at these are different ways to introduce this program. I'm thinking about creating an intro, and I need some advice on which one you think is best for us. We can modify these in all kinds of different ways. And I'm learning how to do that too, and I wish I didn't have to. I wish I had somebody who could do it for me. I've got the program for you if you want to use it. So here we go. I'll blow this noise up so you can see it a little better. This is the first one. This is kind of like a long kind of little video clip. It would change the person walking around in here. That's a video that you can actually put in and make it modify it, make it work for you. Okay, how we want it to work. That could be an introduction. We can do different things with it, all kinds of stuff. So go back over to here. This next one, this is a cardboard cutout. And this one just, I love the music in the background, but then there's your logo pops up on that piece of cardboard. And we'll go back to this, and then we got the retro logo. Your text, logo, whatever you want to put in there. Okay, let's go over to, this is a funny one too. There's a couple different versions of this. I have to listen through it. To the logo, back to the logo. I think that's funny. Audio effects included, and obviously they're telling you what's included with this thing. There you go. Logo could show up like that. That'd be a great way to have your logo show up right there. All right, so that's one. We got the funky party reveal. Let me click on the funky party reveal. That's one. And we got the Earth HUD logo. Let me blow this one up. You can go look at them yourself. I put the link over there in the comments block. You can click on that link. Go check these out. I just gave you access to go look at them. Okay, that's a pretty cool one. And let me go down to American flag one. I'm kind of working on this thing now, but classic version, Instagram version. Okay, give it a second to load up. I'm thinking of this one for Veterans Day. I've edited the language that's showing up, or the words that are showing up on the top right now too already, but I'm trying to figure out how to get it to where I can see it on the screen. And this is just a studio application. You can pick one, camera 1, 2, 3, 4, videos playing in the background, all that kind of stuff into it. And then prime time. This is pretty cool as well. They got different ones. There's the sports one, there's politics, there's world one, all these kind of things, all on this same thing. I'm not going to go through all of that. And let me go see, where are we now? You got the world news, fast news, and this is an interesting one as well. This is an intro. You got to work the music and work the wording and everything like that, and put your own logo into it. This one is definitely more uh, heavy metal. Well, yeah, literally. See, that's one. Let me see. I love the red carpet one as well. This is a red carpet one. Coming to you from LA. Put your logo in there. This one's interesting as well. Put your logo up in that one. And let me go down here to the Digital World logo. Go check them out. Go check them out. You got the link in the comments below. Go check it out. I'm trying to decide which one to actually use, or several. Let me use a bunch of them. Who knows? This I like because it's on the moon. I like space stuff. I'd love to be the person sitting in that chair watching that TV right there on the moon. That would be cool. That would be really just cool. And you got that sci-fi logo intro. Your logo right there. There's one. And this was a space tunnel. Go to the space tunnel. This is pretty cool too. It's really easy to change this one up like that. Okay, and then the last one down here is the fire logo reveal. Here we are. This comes in different colors, so it shows different things. So just watch and see what happens. Got different versions. Your tagline, write your slogan here. Same thing on that one. Different possibilities. These are different things you can use. Okay, they're all in the same little clip. Cool. I love it. All right. So those are some options for different things. Go over there and check it out. Get on that page, go check it out, see what's going on with that, and let me know which one you actually like, or two or three. Pick several. Let me know what you like. So let me go back to the other page where we are at this point in time. And I want to say thank you for everyone being here, wherever you might be watching from. And I think it's probably still YouTube and Twitch. But we are also live over on our website. You can go check that out. You got the website link. Let me put that back up here in the banner. And where is my, well, there. Go right there. Go to that website. You can find us live on there. You can find different things on there that can help you, catch up to date, be up to date. And with that, let me go do some branding stuff over here at the end. We're getting ready to call it a day. And I'm going to just start with the music in the background. Here we go, folks. Hope you have a great day. Let's go out with some bang. You ready?